applied in Hanover, New Hampshire, and so I thought I should do a video just to show you what a standard 3 to 5 day resupply looks like for the trail. I've been usually carrying about 4 to 5 days worth of food, but lately I've been trying to cut it down in terms of weight. I have done quite a bit of experimentation throughout the trail to find out how I can reduce the amount of stuff that I'm carrying, because at the start I was carrying probably like 10 pounds of food, and it really does slow you down when you have 10 pounds. So I weighed this at the grocery store today, and I'll show you what I'm eating. You'll notice that I don't have any meat right now, and that's because I'm not a strict vegetarian, but I primarily eat a vegetarian diet. I just mostly prefer non-meat products, so I don't have any meat products at the moment. But that doesn't mean I don't eat meat. Sometimes I get some pre-cooked bacon or some beef or something else and eat that. But right now, this is what I have. This is what I like. So to start out with, I'll talk to you about what I do for dinners. I have found two things primarily that I really like. I really like these mashed potatoes, even though I haven't been eating a lot of them. They're pretty easy and they're cheap. They're a little more than $1, and I think they taste a lot better than a pasta side or a rice side or ramen. So if you're looking for like a budget option that still tastes pretty good, these are good, and they're really good with pre-cooked bacon if you add that in, and maybe some other like spices or whatever, like garlic salt or something. They taste very good. I definitely mashed potatoes. I'm also a really big fan of couscous. These were both, I think, about $2.40 a packet, but sometimes I can get them for a little cheaper, like $1.99. They're a more expensive option than the pasta side or the rice side, but at this point I'm really tired of eating pasta side, rice side, and I never have like ramen noodles. The only thing I would say about these, I mean, they're very easy because you just add hot water and it tastes very good. The only thing I would say about them is that they can be a little bit like ramen, where if you put in the whole flavor pack, it gets too salty. So I would recommend, for me, I just prefer to put in part of the flavor pack. And then the other problem with them is that they're obviously in boxes, but I find that if you open them and try putting them in a bag, it'll, even if it's a Ziploc, some of the little tiny couscous grains will leak out. So I obviously keep them in the boxes for now. So if someone has a good solution about how you carry couscous into the backcountry, I would love to hear it. Another thing that I've tried before and I really liked, but I haven't done in a while, is this black bean soup from Dr. McDougall's. It's really good and very simple. It's a little bit high in sodium, but still pretty tasty. And one night when I'm less hungry, I'll probably go for this. As far as snacks go, I eat a lot of chocolate. So I have this bag of peanut M&Ms. I mostly eat like this for snacks, chocolate, and I have this leftover Hershey bar. At this point, I'm getting really tired of like Snickers, so I'm trying to change it up with different bars, and especially ones that won't melt so much like this one does. So that's why I like M&Ms, just because they don't melt as easily. And Reese's Pieces are also my favorite. So those are both longer lasting candies for when the weather gets hot, which hopefully I won't be dealing with for long. And then the other thing is I really like for breakfast, I really like having some kind of bread. I've been using tortillas most of the time, but I decided to switch over to bagels about a week or two ago, and I really prefer it because I like the taste of bagels better than after having so many months of tortillas. So I've been carrying bagels, but those are kind of heavy, and as I said, I'm trying to keep it under 5 pounds with this resupply, especially as the train's getting harder in New Hampshire. These are bagel thins. There's 8 in a pack, and I think they were like $3 or $4, and they're pretty, they're my compromise between those little sandwich thins that I don't like that much and bagels, which is what I really want. And then as far as what I put on them, I have this jar of peanut butter, and my favorite thing for a sandwich, if you're going to make a sandwich, peanut butter and honey. And investing in some good honey is really worthwhile because when you're really hungry on the trail, there's nothing better than having some tasty honey. And this will last a while. The peanut butter won't last quite as long, but peanut butter is a good source of protein since I'm not eating a lot of meat. And I really like having block cheese. I love block cheese. It's one of my favorite things to have on the trail. I've experimented with different cheeses, and my favorite cheese of all is Munster, but I can't really bring Munster on the trail because it melts too easily when it gets warm and it gets kind of gummy, which is disgusting. So I recommend if you're going to bring a cheese on the trail, bring something harder. This is a block of Parmesan, and it holds up very well in the heat. It doesn't really get disgusting. Cheddar's also a good choice, so either of those work pretty well, I find, for your cheese, or like Romano. I'm trying something new. I haven't been carrying a lot of like fresh fruits or vegetables out, and I know some people do what most people think are just ridiculous to carry to backcountry, but I have these 2 avocados I'm going to try to see if I start having this on my bagel as breakfast for a couple days, see what that's like, get a little more of the good fats. And as far as coffee, I'm a big coffee drinker, and so every morning on the trail, I've been getting used to these just instant coffees, these Nescafe instant coffees. At first, I wasn't a big fan of these, but honestly, they're so much better than not having any coffee at all that I have gotten used to them and like them. I like them better than, you can get those tea bags that have coffee in them, but what I don't like about those is they have moisture in them, and then if you put it in your garbage bag, it gets kind of like wet and nasty, and has a little coffee odor left over in the garbage bag, which I don't like. So I like these instant packets better. And another thing that I do in the mornings a lot, just to make the instant coffee taste a little better, is mix it with sesame and have like mocha kind of, and it's really good. And these hot chocolate packets are also good on cold nights. A lot of times at hotels for complimentary breakfasts, they have hot chocolate, and sometimes I'll take a few packets and just use those. And I've accumulated a few, but now I've bought some because I haven't had any in a while. And then as far as what I'm doing for cooking now, I started with the jet boil, but the thing I don't like about the jet boil is super fast, but what I don't like about it is it's bulky, and it's like a round tube, so it takes up a lot of space in your pack, and it's kind of an inconvenient shape. So I've been using this little stove where you put like an Esbit tablet, those wet fire tablets in here, and then my friend Language Barrier has a canteen cup that's from the Marine Corps. Well, it's a Marine Corps inspired one, which basically it's kind of heavy, but it's useful for many purposes. Especially the other major use for it is like gathering water in a stream when there's not enough water coming out of the water source just by putting a bag there. So this is like multi-purpose use, and then you just put it on here and cook food pretty quickly, and it's very light and it folds up pretty easily. You can also use wood for this. So it's a multi-purpose stove, and I think you have to turn it over to wood. I would recommend it. It's like $10 on Amazon, I think. It's pretty cheap. The Esbit tablets are a little more expensive, but they've worked fine for us so far. They're a little limiting in terms of you can't be like using it in your tent or anything, but it works fine. And then for what I eat with, I have this plastic spoon, and I mainly just use the spoon. I have a fork too, but I use it. Honestly, you could get just spoons from fast food restaurants utensils and use those, and they work just fine. And then I started with a non-collapsible bowl, but it was taking up too much space in my pack, so I got this collapsible bowl from Sea to Summit, I think, and it is really great. It works really well, and it's pretty sturdy and flexible, so it's very nice. The other thing that I would recommend carrying always in your food bag, you're primarily going to use it for eating, or in your front pocket, I guess, is a pocket knife, because like probably 80% of the time you use it will be for opening food packages. So have it around when you're eating something, because you'll inevitably have to open some prepackaged food, and it'll be hard to tear with your fingernails. And then all this fits in this large Sea to Summit compression sack, so it comes down to a relatively small amount all told. So thank you for watching. Hope that this helped some of you who are just starting to get into backpacking, figure out what you should carry for 3 days on the 18th.